Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Politically Correct Ghana Lesson 200. Today being the 3rd of January 2024, I wish all our viewers a Happy New Year and a prosperous one. Not just joy, but good health and whatever we put our strength, our minds to, should manifest into more success for each and every one of us. And thank you so much for being with us, having been watching Politically Correct Ghana all these few years. The name is H. Kwame Afaglo. Today's discussion is titled Contest of Pragmatic Ideas, Secondary Education. Ghana is heading into the polls come December 2024. And so the political parties and then the independent candidates, some have presented some ideas and we are going through it. We want to evaluate each of them in its real sense, in its pragmatic sense. If it's just one of those promises that we were deceived with previous years, we chalk it off. So today's one is secondary education. Apparently, the results of the senior high schools, that's the WASI results for 2023, came out a few weeks ago, with the former president who is standing on the ticket of the National Democratic Congress, that's John Dramani Mahama, coming to lampoon it, having to criticize it, having to wail that the quality of the examination itself is questionable. By the ways, I impersonated in the WAEC exams in 1985 and I was rusticated from taking the exams for 3 years. So I am a typical evidence of what examination cheat is. All right. That notwithstanding, we always want the best for our children and our grandchildren and for ourselves. So then when the NDC presidential candidate John Dramani Mahama criticized the examination results following the overwhelming success of it, the education minister took him on and said it should be ignored. The most important one is the New Patriotic Party presidential candidate Dr. Baumia took the NDC presidential candidate John Dramani Mahama on that he should just be ignored and that he doesn't like success. And even the communication minister, Kojo Nkrumah of the New Patriotic Party, also made comments that denigrated the former president John Dramani Mahama. And it came to me as a surprise because it's so clear that the NPP has no knowledge. They have no knowledge about education, learning outcomes, and the end results. They have no clue about it. You know what? This secondary education in Ghana itself is problematic. As it stands, we call it junior high school. It is theory-based. Meanwhile, way back in 1973, under Colonel Champon, he did commission a committee called the Kwapon Committee. Kwapon was a former vice-chancellor way back in 1973 to look at changing the quality of education. And that committee proposed that the teacher training must be given quality education. And then Colonel Champon went on again to come up with what we call the Jobo Commission. Jobo was Professor Jobo and his committee to look at how do they change the educational structure from being a feeder, administrative feeder, or a feeder to the colonial master, that is the usurper, that's United Kingdom, that will provide labor for them. That's just been administrative for their exploitative purposes. So the Jobo Commission went to work and they proposed that the educational system we had was theory-based and it must move from theory-based to skill-based. So they proposed what? Agriculture, vocational, technical, and science. These were the 4 areas that the Jobo Commission proposed, and that led into what we call junior secondary school and the senior secondary school. They did propose that the 7 years was too much, so it should be cut down to 4 years secondary education. So then we have the junior secondary school and the senior secondary school. Colonel Champon did experiment it, that's piloted it with like Kimbu Junior Secondary School and co were all in the system. But then come 1987 thereabouts, Jerry John Rawlings, that's the president at the time or the head of state at the time, rolled out the junior secondary school countrywide. In rolling out the junior secondary school countrywide, he provided the equipment for each and every junior secondary school and each and every senior secondary school. Junior secondary schools were provided with equipment for agriculture, were provided equipment for masonry, carpentry, welding, and all. And the focus at the time was what? It should be technically driven with job focus as the satisfaction, and it must be morally oriented. So every school had the Bible and the Quran and then other religious studies as part of its curricula. All right. And as part of it, Jobo Commission recommended that practitioners, technical practitioners, say masons, artisans, and co, to come and train the junior secondary school students on the campus. They should be doing part-time training on the campuses. So the young people have hands-on training, build a skill as apprenticeship. So that those who exit or school dropouts, when they exit, attrition rate from junior secondary school can get into that apprenticeship and continue there or become useful to themselves. Then those who drop out at senior secondary school can also become useful to themselves in terms of artisanal work, masonry, carpentry, welding, and several of them mechanic, auto mechanic, and electricians, auto electricians, and all, hairdressing, catering, and various aspects. Then, of course, those who can progress on can get into the university, but those who but there's not going to be any attrition, because from junior secondary school, those who didn't do well can get into apprenticeship on the field itself, can continue there, but it will be less time. Those who don't make it to the university because their SHS results was not good can get into the technical university. And John Dramani Mahama established the technical university system in Ghana. So the NDC had this plan of making sure that there's no school dropout that is not got a handiwork or hands work, a training, has none should have, so they can all be employed. And that is what the country needed. The country needed a bulwark of workers, but the NPP never understood. So John Ajekun Kufuor cancelled the JSS and brought the junior high school and the senior high school. That was theory based, and that's where Mahmoud Bawumia, the presidential candidate for NPP, Dr. Edu Chum, the education minister, and then Upon Krumah, the communication minister, got it all wrong. NPP just don't understand. If we are having problems with youth unemployment because they have no hands-on experience, no skill, no hands-on skill, let's blame NPP. They are the cause. So the youth, take note, NPP is the cause of you're not being well trained. They are the cause. Look, even at primary level now, UNESCO is complaining that primary level in Ghana has not met the quality standards, because most people come out of the primary level and cannot write a full essay on a page, or some cannot even write their own names. That's in Ghana, and the situation is pervasive. Cheating has become so pervasive and so commonplace that it compromises the quality of learning. And when they even get to teacher training, you see what the results are. Over 47% dropped out of the teacher training professional exams. They just failed it. They couldn't even write simple their names and stuff like that. That is the state in which Ghana finds itself. So the NPP has no educational policy for secondary school. They don't have any that is meaningful. The NDC is presenting what we call quality SHS. And I pray that they start it from the primary. They put quality primary education into the system and roll back the clock to the 1973 junior high school and senior high school, where it is what? It is technically driven to fit the job market and morally oriented. The name is Kwame Afagwe. Thank you.